Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs MCQs program. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was, what is the IUCN status of the bird crab plover recently seen in the news? Least concern, endangered, near threatened or threatened. The correct answer is option A, least concern. Recently, for the first time, breeding nest of crab plovers spotted at Great Vedaranyam Swamp near Point Calimere, Tamil Nadu. It is a long-legged black and white bird of Indian Ocean coast related to plovers and allied species of shorebirds. This is the only shorebird that lays white eggs and chicks remain inside the burrows until the fledging stage. They are residents of the coast and islands of the Indian Ocean. The IUCN status of the crab plover is least concern. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Now let's begin today's session. First question is, consider the following statements regarding the air quality index, that is AQI in India. 1. The AQI in India is primarily determined by the concentration of carbon monoxide in the atmosphere. 2. AQI values are calculated based on multiple air pollutants including particulate matter PM2.5 and PM10, sulfur dioxide SO2, nitrogen dioxide NO2 and ozone O3. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option B, 2 only. The Air Quality Index in India is a comprehensive measure of air quality and is primarily determined by multiple air pollutants. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The AQI is calculated based on the concentrations of various pollutants including PM2.5, PM10, SO2, NO2 and O3 among others. These pollutants have a direct impact on air quality and consequently public health. The AQI provides a clear and easily understandable way to assess and compare air quality levels, helping the public and authorities to take appropriate actions to mitigate health risks associated with poor air quality. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, what is the primary purpose of electoral bonds, a financial instrument frequently discussed in the context of political financing? To facilitate government borrowing for election campaign expenditures, to provide government subsidies to political parties, to enable donors to make anonymous contributions to political parties, or to create a digital currency for voting in elections. The correct answer is option C, to enable donors to make anonymous contributions to political parties. Electoral bonds do not facilitate government borrowing for election campaign expenditures or provide government subsidies to political parties. They are a financial instrument used for political donations. The main purpose of electoral bonds is to enable donors to make contributions to political parties while maintaining a degree of anonymity. By using electoral bonds, individuals or entities can support political parties without their identities being publicly disclosed, which is intended to enhance transparency in political funding. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, which two countries border the Gaza Strip and what natural geographical barrier separates it from one of these countries? Egypt and Israel separated by the Suez Canal, Jordan and Lebanon separated by the Jordan River, Jordan and Egypt separated by the Negev Desert, or Israel and Lebanon separated by the Golan Heights. The correct answer is option A, Egypt and Israel separated by the Suez Canal. Egypt and Israel are separated by the Suez Canal. The Gaza Strip is bordered by Egypt to the south and Israel to the east and north. It is separated from Egypt by the Suez Canal, which acts as a natural geographical barrier between the two territories. Options B, C and D do not directly identify the neighboring countries and the separating geographical features of the Gaza Strip. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the Ethics Committee in the Indian Parliament. 1. The Ethics Committee is a relatively recent addition to the Indian Parliament established in the 21st century. 2. Its primary function is to oversee and enforce ethical standards and codes of conduct for members of Parliament. 3. The Ethics Committee has no role in investigating or addressing ethical violations or misconduct of MPs. How many of the statements above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3 or none? The correct answer is option D, none. The Ethics Committee in the Indian Parliament plays a crucial role in maintaining ethical standards within the Parliament. The primary function of the Ethics Committee is indeed to oversee and enforce ethical standards and codes of conduct for MPs. This includes reviewing complaints of unethical behavior, conflicts of interest, and other ethical violations. The Ethics Committee plays a significant role in investigating and addressing ethical violations or misconduct by MPs. It has the authority to recommend actions and sanctions against MPs found to have violated ethical standards. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding CERT-IN, that is Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. 1. It is a government-owned organization responsible for enhancing cybersecurity in India. 2. It primarily focuses on addressing cybersecurity incidents related to critical infrastructure sectors only. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option A, 1 only. CERT-IN, that is Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, is a government-owned organization responsible for enhancing cybersecurity in India, which includes addressing cybersecurity incidents across various sectors. Hence, statement 1 is correct. CERT-IN focuses on addressing cybersecurity incidents not only related to critical infrastructure sectors, but also across all sectors of the economy, including government organizations, private enterprises, and individuals. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The primary mission of CERT-IN is to protect the Indian cyberspace and strengthen its resilience against cybersecurity threats. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, what is the formal name of the legislation enacted in India to protect and uphold the rights of transgender individuals? Transgender Persons Act of 2019, Gender Inclusivity and Non-Discrimination Act, Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019, or Gender Recognition and Equality Act. The correct answer is option C, Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. The Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019 is the formal name of the legislation in India that focuses on safeguarding the rights of transgender individuals. This act provides legal recognition, non-discrimination, and access to various social and welfare programs for transgender persons. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, the Jal Jeevan Mission in India primarily aims to address which of the following challenges related to rural areas? Agricultural productivity, ensuring safe and adequate drinking water supply to rural households, promoting urbanization and industrial growth in rural regions, or enhancing rural education and healthcare infrastructure. The correct answer is option B, ensuring safe and adequate drinking water supply to rural households. The Jal Jeevan Mission focuses on a specific challenge in rural areas of India. While it has broader implications for rural development, its primary objective is to provide safe and adequate drinking water supply to rural households. This initiative aims to improve the quality of life and sanitation in rural areas through the provision of tap water connections. It does not primarily address challenges related to irrigation, urbanization, or education and healthcare infrastructure. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the Collegium system of India, which has been a topic of discussion in recent news. 1. The Collegium system of India has been in existence since the establishment of the Indian judiciary. 2. It is responsible for the appointment of judges to the Supreme Court of India. 3. The Collegium system is enshrined in the Constitution of India. How many of the statements above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none? The correct answer is option B, only 2. The Collegium system of India is a mechanism for the appointment and transfer of judges in the higher judiciary, specifically the Supreme Court and High Courts of India. The Collegium system of India was not in existence since the establishment of the Indian judiciary. It evolved over time and gained prominence in the 1990s. The system of judicial appointments was primarily controlled by the government before the Collegium system was introduced. The Collegium system is indeed responsible for the appointment of judges to the Supreme Court of India. It plays a key role in recommending individuals for elevation to the Supreme Court. The Collegium system is not enshrined in the Constitution of India. It has its origins in judicial interpretations and evolved through various Supreme Court judgments, including the second judge's case and the third judge's case. It is a part of the legal framework but not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the formation of the Indian National Congress and its early history. 1. The Indian National Congress was established in response to the partition of Bengal in 1905 as a platform to address the concerns of Indian nationalists. 2. The first session of the Indian National Congress in 1885 was attended by 73 delegates and Dadabhai Naoroji presided over the session. 3. The early leaders of the INC, including Alan Octavian Hume, primarily advocated for complete and immediate independence from British colonial rule. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or all of the above? The correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. The Indian National Congress was indeed formed in response to the partition of Bengal in 1905, which aroused significant opposition among Indian nationalists. The first session of the Indian National Congress was held in 1885 in Mumbai, and it was attended by 72 delegates. Dadabhai Naoroji presided over the session. The early leaders of the INC, including A.O. Hume, were not necessarily advocating for complete and immediate independence, but focused on obtaining constitutional reforms and self-governance within the British Empire. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements regarding the powers of the governor of a state in India. 1. The governor is responsible for appointing the chief minister of the state, typically based on the majority party or coalition in the state legislative assembly. 2. The governor has the unilateral authority to dissolve the state legislative assembly. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.